Tuesday, November 24th has become an international holiday for those fond of blue rodents. Sonic the Hedgehog was the secret weapon that gave Sega a fighting chance in the 16-bit console wars against the video game supergiant Nintendo, and its sequel was right around the corner. Dubbed Sonic Tuesday by the fanatical public relations team at Sega of America, Tuesday, November 24th, 1992 was the release date of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. A game that not only compromised the overall plumber, but even Sonic's very own original game. Ask just about anyone speaking fondness for Sonic, and they will most definitely revel in tales of Chemical Plant and Casino Night Zone, as opposed to the levels featured in the freshman frolics of our favorite fast Hedgehog. So, in observance of this most joyous of holidays, we're going to bone up on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Genesis. Wait, where are you going? Get back here! Oh no, the 8-bit one! Oh, come on, I requested this day off 5 years ago, you can't just... Oh, fine. We'll bone up on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Master System and Game Gear. 5 years ago. Hot on the heels of the first Sonic game released for the Sega Genesis in 1991, Sega saw the power that Sonic the Hedgehog had over his fans, and over his enemies, so it would be a waste not to bring them to their other consoles. The success of the first Sonic game on the Master System and its port to the Game Gear was a big green light for Sega to keep the 8-bit train a-rollin'. With the historic day of Sonic Tuesday, the release of the anticipated 16-bit sequel approaching, Sega beat themselves to the punch by releasing a new 8-bit version of Sonic 2 a full month before its Genesis counterpart on October 16, 1992 for Sega Master System. But only in Europe and Brazil. The Sega Master System wasn't doing too well in North America, and its version of Sonic 1 was a not-so-subtle hint to Master System owners that it might be time to upgrade to Sega's newer console. But the Master System was still going strong in PAL regions, so Sega had no problem conjuring up another Sonic game for the remaining Master System loyalists. The US and Japan wouldn't get their hands on the 8-bit version of Sonic 2 until it was ported to the Game Gear a few days before the Genesis and Mega Drive release. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Master System and Game Gear was developed by the company Aspect, who would then go on to develop most of the other Sonic games for the 8-bit consoles. While having the same name as the 16-bit Genesis and Mega Drive release, these two games are so upsettingly different. By Sonic standards, anyway. This 8-bit Sonic 2 was well received and scored some high scores for both systems, but seeing as I was a Genesis kid, I didn't even know this game existed until later in my life, and boy howdy what a change of pace this 8-bit Sonic 2 was. The game wasn't bad, but the 16-bit version absolutely spoiled me on what a Sonic experience can be. But I'm older now, and I'm ready to take a more objective look at these misunderstood entries in the series. So, let's start by looking at the Master System release. Dr. Robotnik is back, except this time, he's doing the exact same thing. Kidnapping animals and using them as sweet Gundam pilots for his poorly constructed robo-army of animal-shaped things. But, this time, he has kidnapped Sonic's new friend, Miles Tails Prower, who makes his very first appearance in this very game. Yay! Dr. Robotnik forces Tails to write a letter to Sonic warning him of Robotnik's plan, and that the Doctor demands the 6 Chaos Emeralds in exchange for Tails' freedom. So, it's up to Sonic to stop Robotnik's evil plans and save his friends once again. At first glance, this game looks comparatively underwhelming, and understandably so given the hardware limitations of the Sega Master System. But even with those limitations, Sonic 2 is no slouch. With 7 zones, each with 3 acts, this 8-bit game technically has more levels than its 16-bit sibling. That is if you don't count the special stages and multiplayer levels. Unfortunately, one of these zones can only be accessed by collecting all available Chaos Emeralds before the 6th boss, who drops the last one, bringing you to Tails' prison, the Crystal Egg Zone. Otherwise, the game concludes and Sonic runs until the dead of night, haunted by his failure to save the innocent. and, with eyes full of tears, see the smiling face of his now deceased friend in the stars. Gone forever from South Island, and gone forever from this mortal coil. Sonic, with the ability to run at the speed of sound, finds something that he cannot outrun. His very past. The story is par the course for any Sonic game, but despite the inclusion of the new sidekick Tails, this mildly mutated fox is not a playable character. Even though he is seen happy with Sonic on the title screen, and on every splash screen before each level. As much of a bummer as this is, it just makes playing as Tails on the Genesis version all the more rewarding. Gameplay, even with being on an older console, feels tight and responsive, if not a bit stiff sometimes. The game handles in typical Sonic fashion. Go right, collect rings, and reach the end of each level. Levels offer a lot to explore, and a treasure trove of rings if you want to take a different route. The amount of extra lives you can get caps at 9, making the rings less of an incentive for anything other than a high score. The 7 zones in Sonic 2 have a good amount of variety, with interesting mechanics specific to each zone. From skipping like a stone in Aqua Lake Zone, riding mine carts in Underground Zone, to failing miserably trying to hang glide in Sky High Zone. Each of these levels feels unique and memorable in their own occasionally frustrating way. I wish the same praise could be given to the boss battles. This time around, Robotnik is taking a less hands-on approach as he seeks a variety of animal robots that are pathetic. The only challenge in fighting these bosses is the fact that you aren't provided any rings for the fight. The last 2 bosses, though, are really cool. Silver Sonic is the first appearance of an artificial hedgehog, as well as the first appearance of the Spin Dash. And the final showdown with Robotnik is definitely one of the tougher final bosses in a Sonic game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 isn't a very challenging game if you're just aiming to get to the bad end, but trying to find all the Chaos Emeralds for the good ending might lead to some frustrations. Most of the emeralds require you to utilize level-specific gimmicks, which range from, that wasn't too bad, to, oh god, what the f***, why can't I go up? This game. Oh, there it is, oh, no. These zone-specific features do add some depth to the levels, but occasionally feel like unfair trial and error that exists to artificially extend game time. Notably with the tube segment in Scrambled Egg Zone. One of the best parts of any Sonic game is the music. For Sonic 2 on the Master System, this isn't quite the case. Not that the soundtrack is completely awful, it's just not as good as previous entries in the series. That being said, there are definitely a couple of bangers here. Sky High Zone and Scrambled Egg Zone to name a few. The theme for Green Hills Zone was later used as the opening to Sonic CD in other regions. Sonic 2 for Sega Master System is a perfectly acceptable game, and a must-have for any Master System collector. But since the shutdown of the Nintendo Wii Shop channel, the only ways to play the Master System version of Sonic 2 is to own an imported copy, emulation, or play the Game Gear port, which is a much more widely available game, either on the 3DS Virtual Console, the Sonic Gems collection for GameCube and PlayStation 2, or as an unlockable minigame in Sonic Adventure DX, released on GameCube as well as PC. While it is nice that the Game Gear port is accessible, and that it is the same game as the Master System version, the Game Gear version has one upsetting difference, besides the removal of the Speed Shoes power-up. the cramped screen. I understand that the Game Gear can't match the resolution of the Master System, but this adjustment makes the game much more challenging. Obstacles, even slightly off-screen, are at times unavoidable. Jumps turn into leaps of faith, and certain bosses get much tougher, with their attacks being outside of your vision. There are a handful of benign differences between the two, a few color swaps, a different song here and there, but it's clear which version is superior, in my opinion at least. But in the same way that the Genesis Sonic 2 spoiled me, the Master System release made the Game Gear port a far less pleasant play. Of course, if you are a Game Gear owner, this is still one of the best games on the system, and deserves a slot in your collection. But if you have a choice between the two, I'd stick with the Master System version. Hey, wait, did both of them just die? The 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog 2 gave a lot more to the franchise than I previously thought. When I first happened across this game around 2006, I thought it was a throwaway D-make to earn a quick buck and appease the previous generation of Sega console owners. And where I'm sure there might be a bit of truth to that, it doesn't change the fact that Sonic 2 for Master System is an unsung hero of Sonic's early endeavors. Not gonna lie, before writing out this review, I didn't plan on having many kind words to say about this game at all. But after playing it a couple of times, it grew on me. Sure, it ain't the Sonic 2 that was my first video game that sparked my love for gaming as a whole. The Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that shaped my tastes in video games, even to this day. Or the Sonic 2 that never fails to put a smile on my face. What was I saying? Probably wasn't important. Now to celebrate Sonic Tuesday the only way that Sonic Tuesday should be celebrated. By playing the very game that came out 28 years ago on this very day. Oh, come on!